Hey, hey, y'all. It's y'all favorite cozy girl, Chi the Reality Queen, and I am back again with another episode of Robe Chronicles and also a new do. Tonight, we're going to be talking about Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 8, Episode 11. This episode starts off with Wendy celebrating her son's 10th birthday. It's so cute. I don't know if I'd want my parents to wake me up at 4 a.m. because I turned 10. But yeah, I'm gonna be like, I need to sleep. I've always liked sleep, even as a little kid. Um, then they show Ashley and Giselle talking about that leisure line, and I have a very strong feeling we will never see any of this close. Like, this is gonna be another She by Sheree jaunt, and it's just gonna maybe by season 13, like we'll see it on some random place, but it'll never get sold. The fact that they were trying to make like, what was it, corduroy workout pants, they don't know what they're doing. Like, have no idea. And the funny thing is, I feel like I hear people criticizing the fact that, Wendy has had multiple businesses. Like, where's her candles? Where's her this? Where is every Hue Beauty? Where is all the restaurants Ashley and Schmiegel opened up? That's just kind of the housewives thing. They start businesses, some work, some don't. I still am waiting for Robin to bring them hats back because I actually still want one. So no shade, but I'm still waiting for a hat. So I think that's just kind of a thing that they do, and I don't take it to heart. I just, like I said, She by Sheree was the originator of starting a business that never happened. So I just think it's a housewife thing. They just roll the pasta at the wall and see what sticks. Um, Karen meets with her. Oh, before that, Ashley talks about how in her confessional, I believe, she kind of admits that with all the financial stuff, she made a mistake with Michael. Like, she should have been more involved. She should have taken a more active role. The problem with Ashley is, oh man, and I hate to say this, but Ashley is one of those girls that thinks I'm going to be young forever. And this man wanted me because I'm young. I'm always going to be young and he always going to want me. And the truth is, it's not true. The creepy old man who wanted you at 24 will not want you when you've had two kids and you're 30 something. Sadly, Ashley's still a beautiful woman. She still, can get people, but when you get people like that, that is why it's always going to be hard to keep someone like that, right? Like, she is not ugly, or her forehead a little big, but that ain't nothing. She is not, she keeps her body well, she looks good, she takes care of herself. But someone who wanted you for your youth, literally, is not going to want you if you age, no matter what you look, right? So I kind of feel bad for her in that respect. But at the same time, I'm kind of glad for her because I don't think he was a catch. Like, he had money, but he's not a catch because it didn't seem like he was really a good person. So I don't know if she's a good person. So maybe they were a match made in heaven, but I think she could do better than someone who has sexual assault allegations out there, personally. Um, then Karen meets with her Aunt Val and Val's son David, and they're talking about how Karen bought the grandmother's house and what she wants to do with it. I think she wants to make like a little bed and breakfast, or something like that. Um, and I've realized that I really like Karen's family. When they did that little special episode, people were like knocking it, but I find Karen's family to be fun. I like those people, and I wouldn't mind seeing more of them. Yeah, it's kind of like they gave Portia a whole show. I think Karen's family is interesting. I think the issue that Karen has, which I don't find it to be an issue, but I think like people do, is that a lot of her family is older, right? And they're not focusing on the younger generation. So people are like, oh, that's boring. But personally, I find her family to be funny. Mia meets with Robin at a salt sanctuary, and it's so funny because they go to give them socks, and Mia's like, "Wait, are these gonna fit my feet? I don't know what size feet Mia has, but she is a tall girl, so I would assume maybe 10, maybe 11." Um, but yeah, that was just funny to me. Um, but yeah, and apparently the salt sanctuary is supposed to like clear the sinuses and the respiratory tract. If somebody knows if that's true, let me know because I'm a little interested. It sounds like a little cool. So if that's true and it's not just like a little scam that you go sit in a room and pay a bunch of money, then yeah, I've done it, but I didn't do it for that. I went and I sat in the room, but I had another purpose, and I was doing like a little water bath thing. I can't even remember. A salt bath is what I ended up doing. Sorry, that was what it was. But before I went into my salt bath, I sat in the room and I didn't really feel anything. So if someone knows actually and has had good results, let me know. Um, then Mia tells Robin about Karen's trip to Surrey County, and she talks about how like, oh, she doesn't have enough liability insurance. And at first I'm like, what does she mean by that? But then I saw the house. When you see the house, that statement makes a lot more sense. Before you see the house, you're like, what is she talking about? When you see the house, but I'll get back to that. Then Robin tells a story about how Karen invited her to dinner, and she went to show her a picture, and she saw a screenshot of like her family photo um, in there in Karen's phone. And she's like, oh, Karen is obsessed with me and blah, 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 blah. And honestly, I want to say something bad about it, but like, if someone went through my screenshots, I have people I don't even know screenshotted in my phone. And to say that you don't, you're a liar. Everybody takes screenshots of stuff that they see online, whether it's something maybe you like an outfit, maybe you don't like an outfit or whatever. But screenshotting an Instagram post or something that comes out is like one of the easiest things, especially like I tend to screenshot because I'm telling a story and I'm like, oh, and so and so and so and blah, 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 blah. And people be like, I don't know these people. Don't worry, I'll send a pic. And so I'll go and screenshot. So you can have context to the story I'm telling. So it's not even, maybe it's not even bad, just a story, like, right? Because people always tend to take that negatively. But sometimes it's just a story and you don't know the people involved. And I want people to know who I'm talking about. So I'm gonna take a screenshot and send it to you. Be like, on the left is person A, and on the right is person B. And if you see in the back corner, that's person C, right? And so that's how I do. So I don't think it's really that weird to have a screenshot of someone's family in your phone. I think, especially in this day and age, it's kind of normal. Then Mia talks to Robin about, how she hired a divorce attorney. And, Mia asked Robin, like, oh, are you and Juan in therapy? And Robin's like, no. Robin, your man was doing what he was doing, and y'all not in therapy. Your man, because honestly, the cheating, okay, cheating is bad. Cheating is bad. Cheating is bad. However, I think the reason they should have gone to therapy was how one treated her when she was suffering from her depressive, her depressive state. Like when she was dealing with bouts of depression, his reaction to her, that's the reason they should be in therapy. He treated her poorly during that time instead of supporting her and being there for her. That is the reason why she should have been like, maybe we should seek some help, some counsel, because this isn't healthy. But because Robin, I know what it is. Robin wants to remain married. Her parents remain married. She's got 2 kids. She doesn't want to lose that man. I know that they were divorced before and they decided to remarry, but the thing is, they were only divorced 9 months, I think she said, back in season 1 or 2 or whatever, before they got back together and were living together. So it's like maybe they haven't been married this whole time, but they have always been together. And I don't think Robin is ready to deal with life without Juan. Think about it. She has actually spent most of her life with Juan since they were 15 years old or 14 years old, whenever it was in high school. And you want me to believe that that's going to be easy for her to walk away from, no matter how dirty he does her or treats her or whatever? It's going to be tough. It's going to be real tough. So I don't, a, a small part of me is sympathetic. I get it. I'm like, it's not easy because the two kids aren't even the biggest. Like, she has really been with, they live together. They went to the same college. She has never let that man out of her sight for one day. I don't know if she conspired with her parents to take him in at 15 so she could be with it. I don't know. But she has been with that man and rode for that man and been right beside him for years. So to think that she's just going to easily, because he's cheating, be like, I'm out. They've done the cheating thing before. They've done the I'm out thing before and didn't take. So, I mean, let's be honest here. Let's think about this logically. Let's not just think about this from the perspective of somebody who maybe met somebody 5 years ago, had one kid, and their marriage went to, you know, whatever. We're talking about somebody that has a long history. You really maybe can't fault Robin for that. I really thought about this. I'm like, maybe we can't really fault this girl the way we are. Like, it's easy to laugh and joke and say whatever, but it's like, yeah, no, that's an adjustment that I don't think she's ready for. Now, I don't know if Juan's ready for it, but I know she's not. And I think Juan, maybe because of his upbringing, he don't want, a broken family for his children. So I don't know. It's an interesting situation. Um, Wendy and Eddie meet for lunch and they're talking about how busy they are and how they aren't really seeing each other because the two of them have new things going on with their lives at the same time. Um, I'm so sorry. I know y'all hate that girl, or not hate Wendy, but y'all like think she's rehearsed. You don't like her. You don't this, that. She looks so good at that lunch. Oh God, she looks so good. That ponytail, the ponytail in the confessional with Eddie. Oh my God, she is so pretty. She is so pretty. She looks so good. I'm so sorry. I don't know. I know I am like in this fight alone about Wendy being that girl, but Wendy is that girl. It's funny because a lot of people are like, oh, she changed. She's not authentic. She's this. I didn't really care for Wendy season one. She was like, yeah, okay, she cool, whatever. I don't think I really had anything. Well, I had a couple negative things, but nothing like terrible. But I think she's only gotten better. Everybody's like, her reads are rehearsed. You are talking about a doctoral educated woman. She has a PhD. She is a political pundit. She gets on television and talks for a living. And you guys are surprised that she's quick on her feet. She's quick on her feet because it's actually what she gets paid to be, quick on her feet. I think she came into the first season not so sure of herself. Maybe that's what happened. A little body modification, and a couple seasons later, and she's like, baby, I'm here to stay. So I'm going to be who I am authentically. And that's what you guys don't like because y'all don't like seeing Wendy be confident in who she is, stand on what she stands on, and move in that way. And I think that bothers people so much because people are used to being confident and not really having the credentials to match. Like, you're just confident. It's like, oh, love their confidence. They're trying. Like, Ashley's confident, but you don't really have too much to her name, right? Besides her beauty. So her confidence is strictly in her beauty and the little bit of whatever. So people are like, oh, confidence, Giselle, she's confident because she's beautiful. This. But Wendy is confident because she knows she's that girl. Like, I think she woke up one morning and was like, I'm that girl. I'm not playing with these people no more because I'm that girl. And I feel like that's what happened. It like woke up like or something. And that's why she's not playing with y'all no more. And y'all don't like it because seeing a beautiful Black woman with the credentials that she has being confident pisses so many people off. Because when I'm looking on Twitter and people are like, she's boring, she's not it, she's rehearsed, I can't put my finger on it, but I don't like her. What you can't put your finger on is being a hater. You're a hater. You're a hater. I don't think of all the housewives on Potomac, and y'all know the Grand Dame is my girl. I think Wendy is the most housewifey housewife, in my opinion. Like when it just comes to having such a loving husband, ride or die, y'all got each other's back, you're working, you're a mother. Like, mother, three young kids. Like she is really doing it, and y'all are trying to like downplay it. That's that. She is that girl. Sorry, I'm on the Wendy train. I have drank the Wendy punch. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm there. When she messes up, I'll call it out because unlike some other stands who can't call out when their faves mess up, I can call out when my faves mess up. I do. I can. So that's where we're at. But anyway, back to what we were talking about. They were talking about how they're so busy because Eddie is launching a marijuana business. Happy Eddie. I think it's great that he took such a negative, weird thing that Muppet baby was talking about and turned it into a business. And I pray and hope that it thrives. Eddie's a very smart guy, and I hope that he's able to turn it into something very successful. Um, so I loved seeing them talk about it and, start that and whatever. So I'm happy for them. Um, then we see Karen and Ray go out. Again, not all of the housewives get to have these conversations with their man. So I love to see Karen and Ray get together. Ray reminds me, well, in the sense that he minds his business, he reminds me of Greg Leaks in that, rest in peace, in that he just minds his business. Like what the woman do is what the women do. Ray don't have no business in women's business. You know, I don't care what's going on because it don't got nothing to do with me. If Karen want to beef with Robin, Karen could beef with Robin. It don't matter. If Karen beefing with Giselle, the one time he spoke to Giselle, Giselle took it so bad, and Ray was like, "I'm never doing that again." I feel like he was like, "Oh no, I'm done. I'm not. Don't call me to talk to no housewife. I'm good." So I love that about him. Then Karen jokes about Ray taking her out in the middle of the day, trying to order from the happy hour menu. She's like, you better order from the menu, the regular menu where it shows that you love me. And I just think it was funny and cute. I think that Ray is eating in the middle of the day because he probably go to bed on time. He is not a young gentleman anymore, Karen. That man is probably tired by about 5. So he can't eat too late because indigestion gonna get him. So yeah. Karen talks about how she wants to, get another trainer. She wants a male. Ray is like, no, I mean, Karen is, she's funny. She always wants a male or a nice, handsome male around her. Um, then she talks about how she is sending out invitations to the women to Surrey County and that she put the names in the hat and she picked them out and she sent the invitation out, and it's Wendy, Candace, Ashley, and Giselle, supposedly is who was selected. Um, Giselle immediately responds, I love you, Karen, but I'm not going. People always talk about people not inviting people or people being left out. But now Giselle is actively leaving herself out by not going, declining invitations. Like, what is that? What is that about? Like, is she really supposed to be doing that on a show? Like, y'all talk about all these other people doing all this other stuff, but she's actively excluding herself. I think to me, it's Interesting. Um, yeah. So Nneka and her husband, it looks like their new home is done. Um, I see they're still working on getting furniture. It's a beautiful home. Um, Nneka talks about how it's different living with her husband because her and her husband were long distance for the most of their relationship. I have thoughts, but I will keep those thoughts to myself till I learn more about their relationship. But from my understanding, it seems like they're still long distance because he works on and off out of state at a hospital somewhere else. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna let that go. Anyways, Giselle comes over to meet with NECA, and it's so funny because this is so reminiscent of who Giselle is. She is welcoming NECA with open arms. She is at her house talking about how smart she is, and this and that, and key, and blah, and blah. When she turns on that girl, if NECA makes it another season, when she turns on that girl, we gonna forget this season ever happened. We gonna forget all the love she was showing her because it always comes. There's always a point. Giselle loved Candace early on. That was her girl. She even liked Monique a little bit. Not too much, but she liked her. So when she turns on NECA because it happens, that's who she is. We'll see. But anyway, she meets with NECA. NECA tells her that she went with Mia to a doctor to talk about like different forms of insemination and stuff like that because I guess that's what Mia did with Gordon. I'm like, I wonder why. Not saying that it probably wasn't like, oh, just to guarantee or whatever, but it's like, are they not doing the do? Is that just a story they were telling us and they was never really intimate like that? Who knows? Uh, then she talks about how Karen came by and took her around all of Potomac and tried to shame her by saying, like, oh, this is technically North Potomac. And it's funny because Giselle starts getting angry, like, oh, why was she trying to shade you? Does she know you own this home? Why Karen rents her home? Okay, let's not get into the money talk because I don't know NECA's net worth, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to get posted or public for a little bit. But Karen and Ray's net worth is more than every other housewife, including Schmiegel. Ray is the richest house husband of Potomac, and y'all could check that. That is a fact. That is not maybe. That is not, oh, shade. That is a fact. His company, what he does, he has a net worth that is more than every other house husband. That's simple. So the shade about him renting or her and Karen renting, that's probably a choice that they made for whatever reason, right? Um, Charisse comes over to NECA's house uninvited. Seems like that's really her thing. Um, and but then, oh yeah, so then Giselle's talking about how she's not going anywhere with Candace and Wendy to NECA, and she talks about how Karen invited a select group, and then, I guess she sent out a second invite in which she invited everybody because she increased the liability insurance. And once again, like I said before, that didn't make no sense. I'm like, what is she talking about? But that house, if you saw it, it's really rickety. And the amount of people that she already invited, she was probably cutting it close, especially because she plans to use that house as a business. And that is probably how she purchased it. And they probably said, there's like, a certain number of people that you can have because most businesses have an occupant maximum. Most places do. And so that maximum is how many is, that maximum determines if your insurance claims will be paid out if something goes on. If you say this place has a maximum of 30 people and something happens and insurance finds out there was 31 people, that's going to be a problem. So you need to stick to what you pay for, right? That's that simple. The thing is, none of these women really, I mean, again, even me, I didn't think about it, but these women aren't so business minded like, they should be. But that I think is what she was talking about. Like, because I thought it was just them. So I was like, what is she talking about? But when they get there, it's really her whole family and a bunch of people. So I get why she was like, okay, like only four of y'all can come, or that made more sense. Anyways, Sharice come over, and of course she talking about Karen because she's obsessed with the lady. Um, and I just she just always looks so sleepy and bored and just not it. She's not an it girl. Sharice might have money, Sharice might have class or whatever she says she has, but she just doesn't have it to me. And I feel like for someone who has so much money, you would think like her fits would be better, her hair would be better, her makeup would be better, but she always comes around just looking a little tired. And that's just what doesn't make sense to me about Sharice. That's where I stand with her. I feel like if Sharice came by looking baddie down, I wouldn't have as much problem with her. I just feel like she talks about being so classy and rich and this, and then she looks frumpy all the time, even in expensive clothes. She just looks, and that's not a dig at her size because she, to me, is normal size. She's like, whatever. The clothes just look cheap and frumpy, and then her hair looks frumpy, and then her makeup isn't good. So it's just a combination of all these bad things. I saw a recent picture of her, someone posted on Twitter, and she looked good, honey. I'm not even lying. I can't hate. She looked good. I said, why doesn't she come around looking like that? That's what she needs to do. She needs to come on the show looking like that. Like, why are you coming on here looking crazy? But everybody does what they want to do. That's their choice. Uh, yes. So anyway, Sharice obviously wasn't invited to the thing. NECA was invited the second go around, and she agrees that she's going to go. I think that's good on NECA's part. It's good to make an effort to, deal with everybody, especially because everybody has been nice to you. I mean, obviously you have your beef with Wendy, but everybody else has been very welcoming and open to you, including Candace, including Karen. So you really don't gain anything being rude and not showing up. Um, so overall, it was NECA, Ashley, Candace, Wendy, and Karen. And they all meet at Karen's house to go because they're taking one of the Sprinter vans. Wendy talks about Eddie having a Happy Eddie event on for like, I don't know, with everybody invited or whatever. And Ashley's like, well, is NECA invited or whatever? And she's like, well, Eddie's handling the invite. So he'll invite the husbands. And, Ashley trying to be messy to instigate, which that's Ashley's job. That's why she's there. Um, NECA then invites everybody to an unpacking party at her house, talking about, oh, it'll be like a pajama. And everybody is invited. Everybody. And Ashley's like, did you hear that, Wendy? Everybody's invited, including you. And Wendy's like, we're skipping 20 million steps, which I agree with. Like, girl, what do you mean? You ain't spoken to me. You not even looking me in the eye. And you talk about everybody invited. Right? Not to like, oh, we're coming back to your room at an event, but we're coming to your house for an event. Like not like in the hotel, like Robin did, was like everybody's coming back to my room, whatever, to chill. That's different. But everybody to come back to your house for an event, and we have never spoken in a calm manner. No, I'm not buying that. That's weird. That you are skipping 20 million steps. That's you that was a general invite. That general invite works when you like everybody in the area. It doesn't work when there's people that you don't like. If I'm sitting in a group with people and there's someone I don't F with and they say, oh, everyone's invited, I would never even assume that invite was for me. And if it was for me, I wouldn't think it was genuine because I know we don't mess with each other and you know we don't mess with each other. So clearly you're trying to fake it for a crowd and we're not really that cool. I'm sorry. I'm like I feel like people like the fakeness. I'm on Wendy's side. I'm not. No. You want to invite me to your house and we are not cool? You have to invite me personally. You have to call me. I need a call. I need a phone call or a text. I'll take a text. I'm not picky, but I need something more. So they all make it to Surrey County. Um, they have to stop. They get gas station margaritas. I've never had one, but Wendy sold it. Man, Wendy sold them gas station margaritas. I wanted one. I was like, oh, that look a little good. But what's funny is, even though Wendy and NECA don't get along, they were still able to be cordial. The event went smoothly. There was no drama, well, until the end, but like they were able to freaking, be in the same space. Unlike Giselle, I'm not going anywhere. These people are going. Robin, I'm not dropping everything for a 12-hour invite. Mia said the same thing. Girl, bye. Bye. Okay. Y'all dramatic. Uh, but yeah, so they all get there. Karen, like I said, Karen's family was there. Like that house was full. And if that is a place of business and you probably have a liability insurance that covers just the amount of people, again, Karen was speaking facts. Like I said, she might have been trying to be a little shady, but at the same time, I do understand where she was coming from with that. Um, but yeah, so I really love how much history we get, like the stories, the historical stories we get anytime Karen and her family are in Surrey County. I think that is something that I really, really love. I think one episode that I really enjoyed as well was way back, I can't remember the season, but Giselle's dad was there. And Giselle's dad apparently worked with and marched with Martin Luther King and seeing the pictures and the fam. I'm like, this is actually really cool. Like, if you are going to have a group of Black housewives and they have this much history among them, I need to hear it. I want to hear it. I think it should be embedded into the show. So I really, really like when they do that. And that's why I like when they go to Surrey County. It may not have much, but it does have history and it does give a little bit of background to different things. And I like that. Um, and then Karen has the ladies change into these little overalls to help them like clean up the area. And she's like, she had told them to bring sneakers or boots. I love that Karen was in a jean dress and Chanel shoes. Are those the only sneakers you own, Karen? You don't have the Payless Keds or the Walmart, whatever, the Skechers, something? Why are the only sneakers you got are Chanel? I'm not wearing Chanel to clean up. God, rich people. They do things I could never imagine doing. I paid $700 on with shoes, and you want me to wear it in the dirt? Oh no, that can't happen. I'm sorry, no, can't do it. Then they go to eat, and Wendy shades NECA and goes, I'm so happy that I was a first option or something. I'm like, girl. But this, again, even though her and NECA have beef, this is the fun shade. It's funny shade. It's not serious. Um, then she starts making some speech about Becca not having sisterhood at the heart, and this group is about sisterhood. And I don't know what Wendy was on, but she was foolish because, girl, this group with Giselle and Robin and Ashley are about sisterhood. Maybe because she looks at it as like, oh, like we're sometimes able to get together and laugh and key regardless of our beef. But I'm like, yeah, no. Why are you playing right now? There is no sisterhood in that group. I mean, yes, some of you guys can get along in key, but NECA didn't hinder that. Sorry. Just because it's you have the beef with, she has the beef with, she is not hindering none of that sisterhood. Sorry. Mm-mm. Giselle is your actual soror. That is your sorority sister, and y'all can't get along for whatever reason. So how do you expect NECA to bring that sisterhood? Come on, Wendy. I know you don't like her. I know she don't like you, but make factual arguments, not foolish ones. Um, then she goes over the things that NECA did, calling her the B word, calling her mom a witch, whatever, talking about her sister, supposedly. I don't know if that was on camera. Maybe it was off camera. I don't know because I don't remember her saying anything about um, Wendy's sister. Um, but maybe that was to LeBay, right? And then NECA is like, well, you cursed at me first. That's why I cursed back at you. And blah, 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 blah. And again, this whole beef of them going back and forth, I think Wendy, her argument was wrong, but I'm on her side. And I'm not on her side because of her argument. I'm on her side because if you talk about my mama, if you dog my mom, I don't care what my mom did. I don't care. I don't care. It's my mom. I like her. I love her. You're not going to be able to dog my mom and move on. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Let me tell you, when I was in undergrad, let me tell y'all, when I was in undergrad, a girl made a joke, or that's what she called it, about my mother visiting um, for some weekend and parents' weekend or something my freshman year. She made a joke about my mother potentially getting ran over by a bike, and I wanted to throw hands. It was only because our coach was there and stopped me. I was so angry. Like, who are you talking to? Are you crazy? You are not about to talk about my mama. I don't care if you think you're joking. So as someone who stands 10 toes behind their mama, you're not going to be able to say anything about my mom and think that we're cool. Now, she later apologized, so I was fine. I actually don't hold on to anger. I don't know about Wendy. I'm very calm. I get very angry easily and I then calm down real fast. So, as someone like that, I was very angry. She apologized. I was very calm. I was like, okay, you said it was a joke. I am going to take it how you say you intended it and I'm going to move on. Now, I hope that Wendy is able to do that and I hope that NECA is able to offer an apology. Calling you a B word, that's going to happen on this housewife stuff. People going to talk about you personally. But to talk about your mama, when NECA needs to apologize. And once she apologizes, I think even if Wendy doesn't think she's genuine, she should accept it in the spirit that NECA is giving it. So if NECA's saying, hey, I'm apologizing to clear the air, then Wendy should say, okay, maybe she doesn't believe it, but girl, you gave the apology that I needed, and I am going to move forward. As it stands, inviting me to your house and there has been no apology, there hasn't been, any conversation, we have not spoken, we have not had anything. Girl, we are not cool and I'm not coming to your house and take your apology and shove it up your, because are you crazy? But when she apologizes, I really do believe Wendy should take the apology how it's intended, whether she believes it or not, and move on. That's my belief. Now, what do you guys think? Do you think that that's how she should take it? Do you think this beef? I don't think this beef should last any longer. I think once Nneka apologized, it should be over and they should try to rebuild from that space. Again, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I think, yeah, it can't continue. It cannot continue. Not to Ibo babes. It can't continue. It needs to be better, in my opinion, in this space. That's what I think. So please like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you think. Give your opinion on this season, this episode, because like I said, this episode, we're trending back to where I like the Housewives. I think the producers are still trying to play too many games, but we're trending in the right direction. We haven't quite hit it, but we getting there. So tell me what you think, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Oh, yeah, don't forget to check out my other videos. I have plenty of other shows that you guys can watch: Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Married at First Sight, and Martha's Vineyard. summer house. So check those out below or wherever, subscribe, and it'll pop up for you. See you guys next time. Bye.